Hello, tribe. How are you today? Do you like my singing and do you like my dancing? I need a vote. Vote yes, Mandy. We love your dancing and singing. Dance and sing more and more. Or no, girl, we could really do without the dancing and singing. To which I will continue to dance and sing too. Okay, so here's the deal. I may ever so slightly be losing my voice. I had interviews and trainings and one-on-one clients all day long. I just finished about a half an hour ago. And I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna hop on a Facebook Live. I got so much to tell the girls and the guys, the tribe. And then I thought, oh, I'm gonna lose my voice. And then that led me to think of, oh, I should just hop on and tell them that you can take all the time that you need to recuperate or rest or give yourself what you need. And then that led me to a whole big thing, which is one of the most important things that I've ever really learned for myself along this journey. So I'm going to try to keep it short so that I can protect my voice for tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, I was gone to an event all week and screaming and yelling and dancing. And then I've literally been on back-to-back trainings and coaching and stuff all through the week. So I can feel it straining and it cuts in and out and it's scratchy. So here's the deal though. And I really mean this when I say it, and it's going to be hard for some of you to really believe this, but having gone from where I was to where I am now so rapidly, I'm telling you that this is really true when I'm about to say, hi, Rebecca. Yes, hi again. Let's just do all of life together. all of it, 24/7. Okay, no yelling this time. So here's the deal. Throughout my journey, right? So obviously year one, I'm on welfare and I break through to almost 400K, 390K that year, right? The amount of things that I needed to learn and work through and the patterns of like, if I up level, I'm going to get sick. If I make money, I'm bad. If like all these scary stories and I'm a bad mom, if I have a successful business and learning to travel and be away from my kids and investing in things, I had no idea how it's going to work out. Along the way, there was a pattern of like getting sick every time I up leveled or something like that, right? And I learned something really about giving myself what I needed along the way. So the story is, I feel tired or I feel beat up or I feel drained or I feel super inspired right now and I just feel like I'm getting all these downloads or these creative ideas and I want to take the time to capture it. I want to create right now, but you have something else that you need to do. Or you just don't feel very well. You feel a little bit run down and tired. You feel like you need rest or a massage, or you need to get out in the sunshine, go for a walk on the beach, go for a swim in the ocean, or maybe you just need some quiet time and some space to ground, whatever it is, right? We need what we need sometimes. And what I've learned is you always get to have the time that you need and the resources that you desire in order to feel like you feel good again, like you're thriving, like you're, back to that high vibe and that high level again. You literally always get to give yourself that. Now, the fear when you go to do that, tell me if this resonates with you. Come on, talk to me here. Does this resonate with you? When I go to think about giving myself that nap or that resource or that thing or buy myself this stuff or take the time that I need, put something on hold for it, say no to something, we feel like, but what if I'm being lazy? But what if I take a day off or if I rest today, what if I always need to take a day off and rest? What if that leads to me needing another day? Or if I gave myself time to rest and relax and read by the pool and just chill out, and then the next day I'm still tired, I'm still exhausted, we start to freak out. Or we feel like we're always just going to stay that way. We're never going to get back to being on fire, right? Or it's investing in something like I'm going to purchase this support that I need. I'm going to, hire a nanny, or I'm going to hire my first VA, or I'm going to hire my first, business assistant, or scale my business. I'm going to hire 3 more people. I'm going to hire 10 more people. I'm going to launch the second business. I'm going to up level, whatever the thing is that we feel like is going to take us to that next level. We freak out and we get scared that we won't be able to make that worth it. That I need this, I want a new assistant, I want a business manager, I want a whatever the thing is. But if we invest in it, how do I know the turnaround will be worth it? Like, how can I trust myself that investing in this thing for myself, this coach, this massage, this whatever it is for ourselves, we're going to take the time out to go do that stuff we need and literally take what we need from life and give ourselves what we need from life. How do we know that that's going to be worth it? And here's what I can tell you from personal experience for myself and watching thousands of people go through this journey. When you feel good, you do good. So I don't care if you have 20 days left in the month and you haven't hit any of your numbers, you're not even close, you're not on track to hit your numbers. If you're feeling like there's something I really need to feel better again, you pause everything and you go do that, and you give yourself what you need to feel better, so that when you feel fully rested, or when you feel fully supported, or your soul feels good again, or you just feel lit up again and you feel excited again. So whether it's physical or emotional, you're giving yourself what you need so that you feel good. You will 10x the last 15 days of your business and get way more powerful results because you felt good and because you were on fire, you were lit up, your soul was full, you were locked into why you're doing this, and you had given yourself what you needed. And I'm telling you, I have had to take, there's been times when it took me 5 weeks. 5 friggin' weeks to feel like I was back to myself again. I was back to lit up and fire and excited. 5 weeks. I was quite certain I was going to die and everything was going to crumble and fall apart in those 5 weeks. It can't possibly take 5 weeks. I remember saying to one of my coaches, like, tell me somebody else has ever taken 5 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's only supposed to take 1 week or maybe like 10 days. 5 weeks? That's not normal. This is clearly evidence that I'm a disaster and this is not going to shift and this is really who I am, right? Like, this was the story. Hi, Marlene. How are you? Who else is here? If you're brand new to me, please let me know so I can say hi to you. I know we got a bunch of new people in the tribe. If you're on the replay, let's do hashtag luxury, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a luxury life for us to give ourselves what we really need. And if you're on my tribe, just say hi to me. Let me know that you're here. Thank you for being here. So what I've learned is it's always safe to give yourself what you desire, whether that's a purchase, an investment, time or space, a request, changing something, changing your mind about something, saying no to something, calling in the support that you need for something, firing somebody, hiring somebody. It literally doesn't matter. What you desire and long for you to feel really good and feel lit up and feel like you have this luxury life where you're taken care of. And I don't mean luxury as in a high end. I mean luxury as in like delicious, yummy, like a yummy life where you treat yourself like you're important and you're well taken care of, and you give yourself what you need to feel important and well taken care of. And I'm telling you, I know that on some level it's just going to require some faith. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Jillian. Yay. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for being here. On some level, it's going to require a little bit of faith in order for you to really trust that. But what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to give yourself what you really need, and you're going to learn that on the other side, it's true that you really will show up powerfully on the other side when you really feel your best, or you're going to keep avoiding it and keep showing up at 80%, 70%, 60%. Now, I will tell you there is a bit of a caveat here. The caveat I've learned is that I used to have a story that I would always need time off in order to feel better, and I would need days off. It's not true for me anymore. Back then it might have been true. Maybe there was that level of healing. It's hard to say for me, right? Like, I know what I know and I know what I have now, but unless I implemented it back then, I don't really know if it's true. What I know is it felt like I needed days off, and that felt like luxury. And then there was a season where taking a day off didn't feel like luxury anymore. It felt like annoying. It felt annoying to me that I needed to take the day off. And so I just created a new story that I get to recuperate while I do what I love to do. And I get to design a life where I'm constantly always recuperating and healing and feeling better. You know what I mean? I constantly get massages. I constantly get a couple days off a week. I take about 2 weeks off a month from basically doing the things that feel like work to me. So like, for what it feels like to me, it feels like I work 2 weeks out of every month, but I'm still bringing in massive amount of numbers, and the business is still expanding and growing. And I travel a lot, but when I travel, I do it in a way that feels good, and I give myself time on the front end and the back end. And I just decided that I get to have like this video right here is literally me recuperating, right? Like, I was like, my voice, I'm kind of tired, yada yada. So instead of calling myself to something and like putting myself in state or whatever I would normally do, I just hopped on and was like, no, this is really true. Like, we really just get to give ourselves what we need, and just like, it's like hanging out with you right now, right? Like, I'm hanging out with Amanda and Amy and Jillian and Marlene and Rebecca, and we're all just hanging out here. It's like hanging out with my girls, and we're just chatting about something, and this is something I happen to experience and I can just share with you guys, which feels good. There's nothing, this doesn't drain me or require energy or requires some kind of, anything that requires anything draining of me, actually, by showing up here and sharing some value I have to give and feeling like I loved all my people, that contributes to me. Engaging in our purpose contributes to us. It raises the energy, it raises the healing, it strengthens us, it conditions us, it does everything for us. This is not something that drains us. Now, learning a new tech platform for me, that feels like work. That genuinely feels like work. Having to organize, communicate things, the details of things like, maybe like someone wants to interview me and I have to fill out the questionnaire or train somebody to fill it out for me, something like that. Those things do feel like work for me, and they're not required very much. But when I feel like I need space, I need time, I need to go to the Georgia mountains like I did last month and just be away from everything, when I feel whatever I feel like I actually need, I give myself. And what I've learned, without a shadow of a doubt, is when I give myself what I desire, whether it's a massive investment, it's support in my team, it's time away, it's a luxury thing like massages or a beautiful new bedroom set or whatever it is, whatever feels like I desire. Like this feels like it's off, it doesn't feel right. Like my daughter's bedroom didn't feel right. Now it's this office doesn't feel right. I need to do something with this office. I always give myself, there will be like a loud story inside of me oftentimes that says, that's too much, you're taking too much, you need too much, or if you give yourself what you need, then you're going to get weaker, or you're being selfish, or you're being reckless. Like there's always that story. And just so you know, we all have the option to pay attention to that story, or we can recognize, if I tap into my deepest desires and longings and I follow them and I give myself them, like the ones that are in alignment with the vision of who we have to be, then I will continue to strengthen, and I will continue to learn that it's not actually all about what can I do on my shoulders. What can I create in my own strength and my own power that I can muscle my way through? And actually it's about collaborating with our soul and with something bigger. We're tapping into something bigger. We're part of a bigger purpose, and that we're being led by our souls. And if we can just trust that and tune into it, whether you call it instincts or your soul guidance or whatever it feels like for you, when you tap into that and trust it, and you just have faith through the process, you'll see on the other side, boom, there's a massive explosion, a huge breakthrough, a huge lesson, anything like that. Oh, my throat is starting to get scratchy. So there's like a huge lesson on the other side that we get to have, that is the reward for you having the faith and doing the tough thing, where other people go into contraction and just try to muscle their way through. We stay in a state of expansion. We give ourselves what we need. We feel in a state of gratitude. And as we're doing that, we get all our rewards on the other side of that. So I'm here to tell you that I can't believe I'm at the place where I can say this so boldly, but I've done the work now, and I have the clarity on the other side. You really do always get to give yourself what you need, for sure, and also what you desire. And by doing that, you will have massive breakthrough that other people who are striving, pushing, grinding, and like not giving themselves what they need to be full, you're going to just keep watching your just, how did you up level so fast, Mandy? This is how. And it was scary as shit at first too. I left Oregon to come to Montana to figure me out. I'll be up leveling soon. Yay! Celebrating you, Amanda. Big moves are so fun. That's so amazing. Woo, great life you are intentionally living. Yes, girl. Hi, lovely. Driving. Hi, Jacqueline. Every single day I run myself a bath. I call it my think tank. Yeah, bath. But this practice allows me to give myself some love every day. Yes. And I've, for about probably a year now, maybe just a little bit less, I've been locking into really searching for the gifts that are coming my way, like the presents, the gifts, the lessons, the just literal gifts that are coming my way, like anything that feels pleasurable, that feels good, that feels expansive, that feels amazing, that feels exciting. And I lock into that, like, there's my gift today. And like, how, like, being so grateful for it in a way that's like, yes, God, thank you, more of this, please. Yes, please, thank you, more of this, please. And it's like getting really clear, like, yes, we like this, more of this, and just expanding the energy of the things that we get that feel really good. I love it. Hi, talk about when you made this decision back when you didn't have resources to throw at whatever trip. Oh yeah, it was just about like literally, okay, you're gonna love this, Mary. Because you know me and you know how weird this must have been for me. So I had a crown. It was literally like a $9 crown from Amazon. What a great question, Mary. Oh, let me take a sip of this drink. So I used to have this crown. because I had no money. So I'd put this crown on, and then I trained my kids and my ex that when I had the crown on, that meant mommy went into like this luxury space. This, what did I used to call it? I think we called it goddess hour, because that's just what the name of the thing was that I learned. But it was really like me time. I just got to like leave me alone time, like mama's recuperating. Like basically this is me plugging into the wall and refueling myself. So I would put the crown on, and so I'd go up to my bedroom, shut the door, I'd put music going, I'd do whatever, I'd take a nap, I'd just find something to do. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just practicing and trying to find a way to regenerate and recuperate, or even learn how I felt and what I needed, because I didn't know, right? Like the funny joke is, back then, I remember a coach asking me like, Mandy, how do you feel? And I was like, I don't know. I just need everybody to shut the hell up, and I need a glass of wine. That's how I feel. And they're like, that's not a feeling. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely how I feel. And it wasn't a feeling, and I didn't even know how to lock into how I felt. So then if I came downstairs to grab a drink or cook myself dinner, if I had the crown on, everybody would leave me alone. And it took a little while to train everyone, but I did it. And so that was how I created it at first. Once I made a little money, but not a lot of money, I would take off to a hotel, and I would stay at a hotel. And yeah, it felt reckless. It felt like I shouldn't be spending this money on a hotel. I have a perfectly good home, but if inside I felt like I need that space, I would spend the money at the hotel. And sure enough, it always has been completely worth it. The breakthrough, the refueling, the creativity that happened on the space that I took for myself would always push me to that next level. And maybe it wasn't always monetary. Maybe it would take 6 months before the debt that I created got paid off and it flipped over to the next level, but it always would. And I just kept going, and I learned to build that faith. And then it turned into going to Bali for a few weeks, or, taking the trip in the mastermind classes that I do, or being able to, begin running the events for the Diamond Mastermind, which has now been going on for a few years. And, I run 3 live events a year for the mastermind, and it just turned into more and more and more to where I've now designed a life where it's in my life. The recuperation moments is part of my day-to-day life. So there's very, very few times when I feel like I need to get away. After the move here and then the divorce, and the divorce was finally settled, I did feel like I was so worried about the kids and getting them settled here, and like doctors and dentists and schools and new friends and all, and now they're going through a divorce too, and like making sure they're all set. When I finally felt like they were all set, I felt this big exhale, and I just wanted to go off to the mountains. So I gave myself permission to, but I needed way more time off way back when. Like a lot. There was a lot of healing and stuff to go through. That's awesome. So smart. You know what's funny, Jillian? I used to hate taking a bath. Like seriously, like you couldn't make me take a bath. Now I love it. Love it. And maybe that's because I have a huge bathtub and I'm almost 6 feet tall, and the bathtubs were so little in the apartments I always stayed in. That could be why. I'm not really sure. It also could probably be because I literally just didn't know how to relax. Oh my God, a hotel, that's brilliant. I so need to do this. I live with a lot of people. I did it all the time. I just go right down the street, didn't matter. Just far enough away to where I felt like I was taking a break, and I would just stay in a hotel. And in the beginning, I would bring my own food so that I didn't have to worry about it and have to pay anything extra. Then I started, walking to restaurants and being able to walk around the city a little bit. Then I started ordering room service. Then I had to call myself back to go out in the street because I was isolating. So yeah, it just flows and ebbs, but it's really just about locking into what your desire is and what do you need and what's going to refuel you, because who you show up when you are refueled and you are locked in is significantly different than who you show up as when you're burnt out and drained and you feel like you cannot have the experience of life that you long to have. That is incredibly difficult. And of course, we're going to have tougher seasons than others. Of course, sometimes it's just going to be a lot harder than others. That's what it is. But you learn to give yourself what you need, like the crown idea, right? How genius is that? You just train the people around you to leave you alone. Or you can take there were so many times I just took my car and I would drive off somewhere beautiful, sit by a lake and just be in my car with the music going. It felt like a little apartment. I mean, that's what I did for a long time too. I would blare the music and I would scream and I would cry in my car with my music blaring. I don't know what human being hasn't done that. I'm pretty sure we've all done that. But it's easy to come up with a clever way that we'll do it. That's the easy part. The reason we don't come up with the clever ways as to how to give ourselves what we desire and what we need in order to show up really powerfully and epic in life is because we have a story that it's not available for us, or that if we give it to ourselves, we'll always need it. Like we'll kind of sink down to the level where we always need these things. And all I can tell you is that's complete bullshit. It's complete, utter bullshit. What's really true is that people are in soul anorexia. They're like starving their soul and wondering why they're behaving the way they behave, or why they're not showing up more powerfully. There's things, desires that they long for that they're not locked into. They're not telling themselves the truth. They're not giving themselves permission to have it. They're telling themselves a story like I did, like, I just want to spend time with my kids, when really I just wanted to go travel and have some fun and excitement and be around some adults, right? And this is the mischief that's going on. Once you actually see it clearly and you're like, no, 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 I would never be called to this purpose. Like, this is my purpose. This is the vision I have for myself, the impact I'm meant to leave. I would never be called to a purpose where it's required for me to deny myself do good in order to reach that. Think about that for a second. I feel a calling for this in my life. Obviously, in order to walk that calling out, everything that you need and desire along the way is available for you. There's no way that the design of the universe is that you're meant to go here, but you're meant to not have the things you need to get here. That doesn't make any sense. That's some man-made bullshit. That is not real. You do get to have the time. I know it's scary. I know it can feel reckless. I know it can feel hard. I know it can feel selfish, but those are just stories. It's not real, right? We get to, as human, and just remember, the standard you set for yourself, what you get to have, the desires, the longings, the breaks, the resting, the whatever it is that makes you feel like your life is really amazing and you're so grateful and you feel recuperated, you feel high energy, whatever you need support in doing that, whatever resources or the time to cook your meals or to work out or the support that you want to pull in, the mentors that you want to hire, whatever you need in order to feel like you are really lit up, you get to take the time and have the resources to do that. The only thing that will stop you from doing it is fear of some future thing that this is going to cause, or some story about how we're being selfish if we give ourselves what we need because other people are struggling. Other people are always going to be struggling. We're human beings. That's what we do. That's what it is. So what you set as a standard for you is what you participate in creating for the entire planet. So if you say you don't deserve to have the time you need to recuperate, neither does anyone else, including your children, your nieces, your nephews, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, clients, right? If you say that you aren't allowed to use your resources to back yourself in your dreams and give yourself what you desire and long for, neither is everyone else. So what the standard you set for yourself and the permissions you give yourself is what you are creating on the planet. So we're calling ourselves to more together as a tribe. We're calling ourselves to set a standard that we want the world to be able to have as well, right? Same with looks. Like a client of mine today was feeling like, how she looks isn't enough, right? And she's feeling insecure about a particular thing going on. And I asked her, like, is that the standard you want to set for the world? Because if the standard for you is I don't look good enough and my value is based on how I look, then that's the value that's the standard you're creating for everyone around you. Every woman around you is now held to that same standard, because a standard is a standard. If you're holding yourself to it, you're holding everyone else to it, whether it's good or it's ugly, and it's holding you back, right? So this is just one of those ones that I always was so scary at first, and I feel like is a huge topic. It's a leap of faith is what it is. It just requires faith. It requires you to trust that the time needed and the resources spent or the lack of what you're getting done in that moment is okay, because you're intuitively healing. And so if you are freaking out about it, let me just give you this. What I checked in on was, okay, am I telling myself the truth here? Or am I squirreling out or avoiding something? Is there something I feel called to that I'm not doing? Or do I genuinely feel like this is a season of my expanding, growing, healing, giving myself something that I need? So I would just ask myself, like, is this an excuse to not show up? And if something pinged me, like, yeah, you've been avoiding this thing, like, have this conversation first, then I would check in with that. Very rarely was that true. Most of the time, I really was just locked into something I needed, and I was working through a story as to why I couldn't have that. Does that make sense? I'm the same way. I used to hate taking baths. That's really funny. I hated them. I remember when I was giving birth to my son, they were like, get in the bath. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm not getting in the bath. Like, I was so mad at them for trying to get me to go in the bath. Like, it wasn't bad enough that I was in 42 hours of freaking labor. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, I am going to go give my vocal cords a break now. I love you guys very much. As always, I'm here if you need anything. And I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you very much. Have a good night. Yes, it was, Rebecca. Baths are so gross. This is why I love you guys. Okay, I love you guys. Have a good night. You're so welcome.